There has been a war of words today on Twitter between the great Brian Last, Jim Cornette's partner in crime, and the thing that irritates me about all this is that I like everybody involved in this for the most part. You know, I really like Matt Hardy. I grew up a big Hardy Boys. Well, I mean, I guess yeah, I grew up a Hardy Boys fan. I mean, I think they're a little bit older than I am, but I mean, when the Hardy Boys joined the WWE, they were what were they, like 18 or 19 or something like that? And so at the time, I don't know what year that was, 1997 or something. 97, they were like 19 maybe. I don't know if I got my numbers wrong, but in 97 I was 14 years old. So I was 14, they were like 19, something like that. But anyway, the bottom line is I love, I really like Matt Hardy. As a person that I've met, he's great. As a character and the broken gimmick, one of my favorite gimmicks, seriously, of all time. I'm dead serious. Brian Last just going at Matt Hardy, Matt Hardy going at Brian Last. I mean, I was trying to sift through this to figure out where it started. He thinks he's great at what he does. We've all been watching. His promos suck. His in-ring work is shit. And the only thing anyone has ever been interested in him doing is tagging his brother. I think that's a weird thing. Jim telling the truth is seeding dissension. Or dissension? Yeah. How many concussions is too many? So they're basically, they really were attacking. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if maybe Jim Cornette started it. I think Jim Cornette tweeted something, and that resulted in Matt Hardy responding, and then all of a sudden Brian Last went to town on Matt Hardy. Now, I can't see Jim Cornette's tweets because Jim Cornette is a soft liberal pussy who doesn't like me. Now, I call him a liberal pussy because he probably calls me right-wing something, even though I'm a registered liberal. I'm a registered Democrat, but that's okay. It doesn't matter to Jim. Everybody's a right-wing nut to Jim Cornette that don't agree with him. Jim Cornette's probably walking around with a mask right now while cucking his wife out to somebody, but whatever. So Matt Hardy responds to the BS from them, and, geez, Jim, I haven't sold my soul. I'm sticking to my principles and telling truths. I feel morally obligated to do right by my friends, although that's probably foreign to you. Oh, this is because I think he was called out for, like, sucking up to AEW or something. I earn a check because I'm great at what I do and I'm still employable. Keep on seeding dissension. Dissension. Why do I have problems with that word today? Jesus Christ. I go back. I'm going to go back to school, Jim Cornette. Dissension amongst fans with your shtick. It's too sweet. I mean, kind of a silly, it's too sweet. Listen, here's the thing. I don't know what to tell you about Matt Hardy because I like Matt Hardy. You can criticize him a little bit. That's fine. I've criticized him, but not necessarily like an attack on him. I've liked lots of things Matt has done. But he's a weird person to attack. To me, he's a weird guy to get in an argument with, to like put down and stuff like that. Like, Jesus Christ, if you're putting down Matt Hardy, like, that's bizarre to me. That's a weird thing to me. Geez, Matt, I couldn't understand selling your soul for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but selling it for Adderall, even if you have to abandon your principles, verbally fillet these childish cretins for your check. Leave my fans alone. Oh, this is Jim Cornette responding to Matt. So maybe Matt started that. I'm figuring this all out as we speak. Between this and the toxic... Oh, yeah, so someone wrote something terrible about Matt Hardy. So then Matt Hardy tweeted it out and said, between this and the toxic Cornette cult, these guys don't get the adoration that they truly deserve. The die-hard elite fans are phenomenal and get why they're special. But there's a huge chunk of fans that fail to give them credit and they deserve. Give these guys their flowers. And so that's Matt Hardy basically sticking up for the elite and sticking up for those guys, and then Jim Cornette's going to bash him for that. So in a way, Matt Hardy was talking about a different person, but then I'm assuming it was a Jim Cornette fan that attacked Matt Hardy and the elite situation, and then Matt Hardy responded back to that guy, which then prompted Jim Cornette to defend his fans, which then prompted Brian Last and Matt Hardy to just go on a fucking fight all day long in a giant thread that was like a never-ending thread of hell. If you were able to read it today, it was quite the thread of insane, bro. It just went on and on and on all day long. And here's the thing. I made a video a while back. I said all wrestlers are scumbags. Do you know what I mean? I said all these people are narcissistic psychopaths. You know what I mean? I think they are. I really do. Because one minute Jim Cornette was friends with me, and then the next minute he was like, oh, that Joe Cronin, he sucks dick. Oh, I hate Joe Cronin. Oh, his hat is backwards. He lives with his mother.
Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck. He looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone. And he's a shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers.
So I just got to say that, by the way, that always blew me away. I mean, I'd only met Jim Cornette a couple of times. We'd only done a couple of podcasts together here or there. And this guy had so many things on me. It was unbelievable. He had like the fucking backwards cap in the parents' basement and the Northeast. I'm not from New York. I'm from Boston, but close enough. I get it. So like this guy was just nailing it. He spent a lot of time summing me up, bro. Nobody can sum somebody up like Jim Cornette. And here's the thing. I like Jim Cornette. And I like Brian Last. I think they're really talented. I love listening to them. I've loved Jim Cornette since I was little. But honestly, at the same time, fuck them. You know what I mean? Because I think all these people are overly critical. I think Matt Hardy is insufferable a little bit with some of his suck up to the fucking elite and everything. But the guy works with these people. He knows them. He's probably friends with them. And they are talented people who helped create this company that we're all watching. And they helped create a company that you're watching, Jim Cornette. You know, that you wouldn't have as many views as you have if you didn't have this company to hate on. Hate brings in the views. We all know that's what Cornette loves to do. He loves to hate on Trump. Donald Trump will be 15 years from now, and Jim Cornette will still be hating on Trump. It gives him something to hate on forever. He'll ignore everything that Joe Biden does, and he'll just shit on Trump until the end of time, because that's what he does. He just shits on stuff. He doesn't really talk about a lot of the good stuff. He mostly just shits on it. But listen, I like Brian Last, I like Jim Cornette, and I like Matt Hardy. I like all these guys, but I think they're all nuts at the same time. I think it's all politics bullshit. All right? Why do you think I'm not in a wrestling company? Because I talk too much shit. I'm too fucking real for these people. Okay? Jim Cornette's not real because he shits on stuff to make money, and that's all there is to it, and that's all he cares about. Matt Hardy can't be real because he's in the company with these people, and he's got to love them and whatever. He's got a skewed perspective. So the bottom line is, I don't blame Matt Hardy for sticking up for his friends. These are his friends, probably, the people that he really knows. Of course he's going to stick up for them. And Jim Cornette has said that about several people over the years, about several different situations and things. But suddenly, with this case, it's not okay. Matt Hardy sucks and Jeff Hardy's the best. Oh, yeah? I would argue that's not true. I would argue Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy are a wonderful mix. Okay? First of all, I'll tell you what. In the WWE, Jeff Hardy was a standout because of the Daredevil stuff. I thought Matt had more emotional, brutal matches with people like Edge and some of those other things that went on, some other storylines that went on. And I think, in the end, if you were to sum up the Hardy Boys' career up until the year 2014, I'd say, yeah, I really think that sometimes you get a Shawn Michaels and you get a Marty Jannetty. But I don't believe Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy are like that. Honestly, what I believe is that they're really just better as a tag team. They really are. I don't think Jeff Hardy works by himself really that well. And I don't think that Matt Hardy works as well by himself up until the year 2014. However, I do think that Jeff is typically the standout because he does some of the Daredevil stuff, and he's the more sort of flashy of the two. So I understand Jeff Hardy kind of sticking out in that way because he does, and he did to me as well, and I agree. But then later, in the later years, when Matt Hardy created the Broken, sacrilege, Broken When he became Broken Matt Hardy in 2016, that is the biggest character that either of the Hardys ever created. Willow was great. I did like that sort of silliness Jeff Hardy did. Willow! It was very bizarre, weird, and I liked it. And I give them credit for both of them coming up with these characters that were so different and weird and fun. But I will say that Broken Matt Hardy stuck out and was the bigger character of the two. So, therefore, I got to be honest, bro. Why does Matt Hardy get no credit for this? I'm not trying to say one brother is better than the other. I'm not trying to divide them or something like that like Cornette's doing here and Brian Last is doing here. But the bottom line is Matt Hardy I believe, had a bigger character. Now, you can make an argument that Jeff Hardy, WWE Championship and that title run he was on top of the world in a company that had 5 million viewers or 4 million viewers at the time, and Impact Wrestling had about 1 million. But Jeff Hardy was in a company where that was already going on. Do you know what I mean? Matt Hardy was in a company that only had 400 to 500,000 people watching at one point, and then suddenly the Broken gimmick took off and they had 1 million people watching. I'm pretty sure those numbers are close to accurate. Matt Hardy attracted at least 300,000 viewers to Impact Wrestling for a brief period of time and went on a national tour with the Broken gimmick, revitalized him and his brother when they tagged with each other again, having these great matches with like the Young Bucks and other people like that. And he really set the world on fire for a while. So, honestly, man, if you asked me, give me any era, give me any character of Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy in singles competition, who do you want to see? I'm not going to pick Jeff Hardy from WWE during the WWE title run. I'm going to pick Matt Hardy Broken 2016. I want to see that. That's me. Maybe some people would disagree, and some people will disagree with that. It's an argument to be made and to be had and whatever. But I'm just trying to say that I think that the Hardy boys are on a much more even level than a lot of people would think and realize. Yes, when it comes to the death-defying stunts and the charisma, man, it's going to be Jeff Hardy. But when it comes to the character and the personality and the creativity character-wise, if 2016 and beyond never happened, I wouldn't know what to tell you. But I would probably still give the edge to Matt. But, for certain, it's the Broken gimmick. It's got to be the Broken gimmick. So, I don't know. These guys fought all day long. I'm not even going to go through the tweets. They're pretty funny. They're just sort of like petty fuckbags, mostly on Brian Last's part, which is funny because like these guys act so high and mighty. They're all cocksuckers, these people. Most of them. Anyway, I'm Joe Cronin. This is the Joe Cronin Show. This is wrestling. There was no Raw review tonight, so you got this instead. What did you think about it? Leave your comments down below. Who's right? Is it Jim Cornette, Brian Last, Matt Hardy? Who's right about this? But man, I'll tell you what. I like Cornette, and I like Brian Last, and I like Matt Hardy, and I understand why he's defending the Young Bucks and the Elite. I think they're all scumbags. How about that? Although I think Matt Hardy is the best of all of them. Because I've actually met Matt Hardy, and he cares about trying to entertain people. So I'm sure Matt Hardy also cares about trying to do right by the young crowd. And by the way, Matt Hardy is really beaten up. He's a veteran. He's a legend. He's really beaten up. He's been in crazy matches. To say that, oh, your work has been shit for the last 2 years. Like, it was just a nasty way to scream at this guy. I don't understand it. I thought the deletion they did a little while back was entertaining, and we had a fun time watching it. I don't think Matt Hardy's done anything like amazing, crazy, great over the last couple of years, but I don't think his work or his creativeness or what he's been given to do on TV and wrestling, I don't think that has garnered the vitriol that I saw Brian Last giving him. Like, your work's been shit. You're shit now, and you're garbage, and you know it. And you're like, it was just weird. Like, I don't have that kind of vicious hatred towards Matt Hardy's work. Like, there's a bunch of other people that have done worse than Matt Hardy. Like, that I won't even get into bashing them. But the bottom line is that's what I think. I think there's a hatred for the Elite that's pretty deep. But anyway, one good piece of news I want to leave you with as I get out of here before you guys leave me comments down below, and maybe you leave me a super thanks if you want to fund my show. I don't know, or you become a patron. But Kevin Kelly is the best announcer in AEW or WWE. And I had mentioned that I thought that could be the case when he was coming in. I said, this could be the best commentary we've gotten in a long time from anybody. So Kevin Kelly's one of the top guys ever. And right now in a down time for commentators, which I believe it is, and that's not just because I'm begging for jobs everywhere to become to be a commentator for WWE and whoever else. It's because the commentary teams have been terrible, and they're just fucking terrible. But Kevin Kelly is showing you what a real main head lead commentator is and can be, and I don't think anybody's better. Prove me wrong in the comments, maybe. I don't know. This is the Joe Cronin Show. More tomorrow and throughout the week. Please subscribe for more of this content that will make Jim Cornette angry. See you guys.